I don't even know if you're there. Can anyone see me? There we go. Hey, yo. Hello, YouTube. This is FleurBrun coming to you today. Hopefully, I'll stay on if it doesn't have to change locations. So, welcome, everyone. So, big up to everyone. Big up to the oh well. Shout out to what is it? I even forgot how I start my introduction. That's how tired I've been for the last couple of days. Big up to the east, west, north, and the south, right? So I have a doggy across the street that I am just in love with. So to this, what kind of? Oh, let me give a shout out to some sea stars who did not make it to the conference because FleurBrun was too paranoid and forgot to give them the address. So big up to Monique Sheets. Is it Monique Sheets? Is it Monique Sheets? I think it's Monique Sheets. Well, big up to Monique. There was a couple Moniques that were missing from the list, so big up to Monique. And big up to the other sea star who weren't able to make it because of my paranoia. But it's amazing. My paranoia is very relative. Can you guys see me? Put a 13 in the mark if you can see me. If not, I'm going to go to another location. Put a 13 if you're able to see and listen and hear me. Okay, there we go. Perfect. Okay, so we're gonna get into the silent agents, the agents of the matrix that are silent. You know, a lot of times we give credence and credit to those agents that are showing up all kinds of glitchery. They're dropping it like it's hot. They're looking real, Swayze in the realm of agencies. And we really rarely touch on those silent agents that are basically beings here to mislead energetically. Some agents are more of likened to stalking and watchers. Sometimes it depends on how silent or if you aren't able to see them. How they're able to sway you in a certain direction because you aren't able to vet them out. So we're going to get into the silent agents. It's saying one person's in the room. I'm assuming this has been for the last couple of days since the conference. Big up to YouTube who's attempting to halt this says one person's in here and I see all you guys talking and I see 3 likes. So please put a like on my video because all I see is 3 likes. I don't even know if it's real or not. There's more than one person in the room. There's 108 people in here. Wow. The struggle is real. Anyway, so it's funny. It says one person. Let me take a picture of it because you guys always think I'm making stuff up. Let me take a picture of it. I take a picture so you guys really know what's going down. Oh, let me fix myself. I'm sorry. Okay, so I did see I think I saw The Watchmen. You got to refresh me on it. I think I saw The Watchmen. I got to see the trailer again to see if I saw it. So anyway, let's get into the silent agents. So we have silent agents that are set up in every arena. You have silent agents at your jobs. They're people, and some of you know the silent agents because you always wonder who's going to HR complaining about you drinking your coffee at your desk, or those agents at your corporate job who are always how does HR find out that you're making calls or that you're 2 minutes late on your lunch break. Those are like the regular pro quo typical atypical agents. Those are the ones who are like stalkers. They watch you. They would never say it to your face. They basically are just watching everything you do, taking note, and going to blow your spot whenever they get a chance, or reporting to others. Okay, now what's very interesting is that we have agents in every facet of our lives. And why I wanted to speak about the silent agents, because I feel a lot of times, especially with my platform and with others who have these silent punks, I call them silent punks, who like to do things inseparably behind the scenes. They would never say it to my face, but they'll do things to kind of cause a level of distrust, or they'll take, they're reporting to the Men in Black, or they're reporting to governmental agencies, and basically you aren't able to see them because they're cloaking themselves as happy subscribers who like you, or as other channels, or as your friends, they can even be your family members. Silent agents don't have to be people that are overt and that you're, obviously, if they're silent, you're unaware of their presence, okay? So, let's get into it. So I wanted to speak to the level of silent agents that are here in our lives that are causing a level of uncomfortability and actually able to create blockages or distrust in your circles. Okay. So one thing I will tell you is if you are heightened in self-awareness, there won't be any level of silent agents that will be able to impede on your peace of mind or your platforms. One of the things over time, as I've risen to a certain level of consciousness and also of a heightened state of awareness, usually the silent agents, even if they are silent, I will always dream about them or they'll come up in my mind. They'll pop in my mind out of the blue. It'll be like one day I'm walking around and then all of a sudden someone's name pops up when I see when I see something negative happen and their name pops up. Or if I'm watching a movie that has to do with, hi Paola, pick up to Paola. Paola sees me. Whenever I'm doing like I'm watching a really movie on covert behavior and their name pops out of the blue. And that's a level of you being aware of your agents, of your handlers or agents. If you become aware, heightened in awareness, you will always have a level of intel that comes to you every single time. You'll dream about the person doing something diabolical, or their name will come up out of the blue, just out of, whenever something they're doing is going into whatever they're doing something negative, they'll just come to your mind. It happens every time. So that's why I know many of you are very heightened in consciousness and awareness, and you know what I'm talking about. Miss Love says she does. See, Miss Love says she does. It happens every single time. So the silent agents, why we should talk about them is because we need to take away their anonymity. These beings are only diabolical and only purposeful when they have anonymity. When you blow their spots, their power is gone. The only reason they have power is because they're hidden behind closed doors. They're hiding themselves and disallowing you to see who they are and truly what they represent. Okay, so we talked about the regular agents, silent agents that are at your jobs. Many of you go to work and these are the people that blow your spot. Yeah, John was late 2 minutes. They're going to your HR complaining about you and you never know who it is. So now when I discuss raising your consciousness and raising your level of awareness, you will start to understand and overstand your level of intuition that will always tell you who these secret agents are. Okay? Now, when we get in the realms of your family dynamics, these silent agents are the ones who are secretly hating on you in your family or creating blockages. These are the silent agents. Like a lot of times with me, how I know someone's an agent is like when I'm about to do something really positive and I know it's positive based on just it being overtly positive, when it's not a thought or my conception of positive, it's something positive, and somebody comes out of the blue to block it or to create some sort of fear or paranoia. So what happens, I'll give you an example. So yesterday I went out with one of my homies, and he hasn't seen me for a while, so we were hanging out in the day. That's not my twin flame, just one of my homies. And I noticed that every single time I hang out with him, he calls another friend who's literally a Debbie Downer. Every single time, Debbie Downer, to realize, oh my gosh, this was a setup. He's purposefully trying to infect me with a lower frequency. And it isn't to say the young lady is negative, so to speak, but she's struggling with a lot of life lessons, and she's unable to break free consciously from them. So she's almost like a black hole. She brings in more negativity because she's unable to kind of get out of her level of of sadness or depression, or her, people in her life are going through strife, she's that person. So I had to tell him yesterday, I had to check him, because that's what I do, and many of you know me already. See, this is the one thing you can tell about a Sag, and I'm a triple Sag, so I'm very, very vocal about the things that bother me, and I'm very vocal about the things that caused uncomfortability. So I had to check him, and I said, listen, homie, I don't know if you know it, but you're looking like an agent to me. I tell people I'm about that life. You looking like an agent to me, because why every time we hang out are you bringing this person around knowing that this is a frequency that is going to cause dysentery, it's going to cause uncomfortability, it's going to change what our conversation is, it's going to drag. What are you doing? And he looked at me, he was like, really? I was like, heck yeah, really. And he said, well, you know what? I think you're right. I said, I don't think you think I'm right. You know I'm right. And I said, listen, if you like my company, if you like being with me, then you're going to have to check yourself before you wreck yourself, because I won't come around anymore if every time, no, this isn't my twin flame, this is my homie, I won't come around you anymore if this is what you're going to bring into me. And if you aren't an agent, then you need to stop acting real agent-like. So he just looked at me with the level of, some men get intrigued when I tell some men, some of you sun stars get really enticed when we tell you off. I never understood that. Like when I get really mad, my sun stars get attracted. Like they think that's sexy. I think it's sick. Like when I'm telling you off, don't think that's sexy. Don't look at me like I'm a vixen or something, but I'm checking you because I love myself. I appreciate my frequency. And if you miss me like you say you do and you like my company, then let's keep the love and light in the frequency so that we're able to have a good time. That's all I'm saying. I'm in a happy world. I love leisurely life. I love keeping, I woke him up. I woke him up. Yeah, I play zero games at this point. I know what layer of the matrix people are coinciding in, and he's too high in frequency to be oblivious that he's bringing someone who's a Debbie Downer around, and I almost feel like that's purposefully being done. So I'm calling him out as a plausible agent, because every time he does it, I'm thinking there's something else. So let's go into another part of agencies. Another part of an agent. Okay, check them before you, listen family, I want you, especially our young people, our young people kind of get it. I want you to check them before they wreck you. When I was younger, I used to let things slide all the time because I didn't want to hurt people's feelings. I was a people pleaser, which has to do with insecurities. Part of being a people pleaser is having a level of insecurity. Because if you're always trying to please other people at the detriment of yourself and your peace of mind, that also states. Are you guys buffering? Can you guys see me? Put a 13 if you can see me, because I'm not going to keep. Hi, how are you? Good. Put a 13 in there if you can see me. I don't know if you guys can see me. It's kind of dark on my end. Okay, you can. So, hold on. See, agents. As soon as I talk about agents, then it comes. Hold on. Okay, Paula says she can see me. Hold on. Okay, hold on. There we go. Listen, they send them when I'm talking about agents. Okay, this is how my thing is. Check yourself before you wreck yourself. And like I said, I'm not judging anyone, because I used to be there, been there, done that. I used to stay around people just to people please, or not to, make someone feel uncomfortable, even if they were making me feel uncomfortable. And I've learned, and I'm a lot more seasoned, and I like myself and I love myself enough to know that if I am healthy for you, then you should be healthy for me. If you're gonna bring a level of some sort of diabolicalness to me every single time I'm around you, you won't see me. That's why I rid of people all the time that mess with my peace of mind, and I'm highly unapologetic about it. Okay, so let me go a little further. So let's get into the agents that are people. Now, number one thing that I have to talk about all the time, and a lot of people really get upset with me when I discuss this, but I keep it real. The number one way that you can definitely vet out agents is if an agent is on drugs and has to do drugs every day, yes, including chiefing. If someone's chiefing every day, they can't not chief. If they're drinking every day and they can't not drink, if they're smoking cigarettes every day and they can't not smoke, that is a label, that is a potential agent. Now, what I will say is not every alcoholic, drug addict, or a smoker is an agent. You want to see this video? Oh, I'm getting letters. Okay, look. I'm gonna show you. Do you see that? I'm getting sigils on my arm. That's crazy. It's wild. Okay, I'm already getting marks on me from talking about agents. Yeah. So agents a lot of times. Oh, am I buffering? Am I buff? Okay. Okay, you guys can see me? Okay. Yeah, so number one way I can vet out an agent is if they're an alcoholic. Now, my DJ got incepted, and I don't appreciate it at the conference because my DJ was sober. So one thing I know is that I know people's weaknesses and myself included. I know weaknesses of people by what they do. And my DJ was, big up to my DJ. I love him. He's like family to me, but he was compromised because he was compromised by another agent who pushed him into, and it didn't push him, but he ended up compromising his sobriety, and then he was infiltrated by demons. I know you guys are like, oh, FleurBrun, you blowing people's spots. Yes, I blow people's spots. Not on my watch. If you are an alcoholic and you can't not drink every day, if you are smoking and chiefing every day, you are a potential agent. And chances are that if you are basically smoking marijuana every day, you've already been infiltrated. Just the fact that you don't have a layer of self-control and self-mastery and you're acquiring marijuana every day, that lets me know something's going on with you. And a lot of people don't like that because they think chiefing is healthy. It isn't healthy. Gambling too. Behavioral patterns as well. Okay. Sociological behavior as well. That's why I break my coffee. Even coffee is a problem. No. Listen, yes, it is true. If you are smoking marijuana every day, you've been compromised. Your auric field has been compromised. Yes, it is true. And by you being in denial about that, also, you should really do some self-reflection and look into yourself and see what's going on. Yes, coffee as well. Anything that you have a layer and level of addiction to and that you have to do daily in order to have a healthy homeostasis is a problem. And if you think it any other way, I would suggest you reevaluate the things that are connected to you and really look inside of yourself and see why you feel that way, because that's a fact. And one thing I know is that if someone is perpetually saying to me that they can't exist without drugs or alcohol, that is somebody that I won't trust around myself or my children. That is what it is, including myself. That's why you see me fast all the time. That's why you see me stop drinking coffee all the time. Because when I have a level of addiction to something, it means that my consciousness has been compromised. And I'm more susceptible to infiltration based on me having a layer of, susceptibility to, just a mental susceptibility to to any kind of infiltration. And, people are like, well, chief, it's an herb. No, it isn't an herb, family. It's not an herb when you burn it. When you change the chemical component, I'm an island girl. Please don't play. See, this is where I get upset with some people who think, they know better than me. If you are someone who is seasoned, you can't play semantics with me. When you burn any herb, you burn it with fire. It changes a molecular structure. Anybody with some form of intellect would know that. I don't care if you're doing it every day, but don't say what it is. I tell you I drink coffee. I'm not trying to take it away. I drink coffee, Starbucks. That's not the best coffee. That's crazy. Sugar's a drug too. Everything's a drug. I'm just saying major things. I'm talking about people have sugar. There's a whole bunch of addictive things that we do. And I'm saying everything is compromisable, but I'm talking mostly about drugs and alcohol, which have the strongest layer of infiltrating a person's auric field. Okay, so when I say to people that they're being infiltrated because they're burning chief all the time, they say, what's the alternative? I tell you all the time, we make them a teas. You steep something and you don't totally burn it. You actually tincture it. You utilize it in its proper form. Okay, and an herb is meant to be consumed like eating it. You don't see animals and other beings burning anything. They consume it as it is. When you change it, it isn't what it was anymore. Crack cocaine is what is it? Cocaine, once you burn it, it becomes crack. I don't want to talk to people who have, this is when someone has to have a certain amount of, discernment. Because when you talk to people who are defensive about doing something because they do it every day and they just feel it's good for them, then they just get defensive. You tell me I drink coffee, I can't get defensive. I do. It's a problem. Okay? Anyway, let's go into it. So silent agents can be, I didn't say they all are, can be people who have alcohol and drug issues. People who do drugs and alcohol every day should not and will not be trusted by me. If those are things that you have to do daily and you aren't able to function without them, that means you're already been infiltrated. And if an agent Smith wanted to hop in your body, it's very easy because you have a zero protection. Your auric field has a whole bunch of holes in it, and they're able to jump in and out of you like, what's that game, remember? Hungry Hippo? No, what was that game? There was a game, I think it was Hungry Hippo. I think it was that was it. Okay, so silent agents can be the people in your life that are doing drugs every day. And a lot of times people think that I don't know that they do drugs because they'll talk to me and they're unaware that I know. Let me state this. FleurBrun is seasoned, and if you've ever talked to me on the phone, hi. And if you've ever talked to me in person or drunk or struggling with something, prescription drug, whatever, I already know. I'm not going to blow your spot because it's unnecessary. That's your life and that's your free will choice. So if you continue to do that, I know that you're compromised. Is it already messed up? Hello? Are you there? It's fine now? Okay. Just making sure. So that's another silent agent. Silent agents are the people in your life that are alcoholics. And when I say alcoholics, these are people that have to drink every night. When I'm saying like they can't go to bed without a glass of wine. They can't function without a cigarette every 20 minutes. They can't function without chiefing every day, or they're pissed off. If they aren't able to get a cigarette, a marijuana, or anything, they get mad and their whole personality changes. These are agents. And I wouldn't even call that necessarily a silent agent. I say they're silent agents because that is a culture that's being propelled and pushed. In our world right now, that is being promoted as a normality, being a chiefer. That's why, marijuana is being regulated, governmental marijuana is being regulated, and they won't let you grow it. They'll let you use their chemical marijuana, but they won't let you grow it and tincture it and use it as an herb, as a soup. Many of you don't know, if you want to get rid of a cold, you have herbal soup. And part of the herbal soup is you putting chief in there, the parts of chief. Do many of you know that your ancestors put them in distilled spring water and drank it as a tincture or put it in soup to get rid of chest colds? Did you know that? Okay. So I'm just saying, for all the chiefers, big up to all the chiefers in the house, because y'all, listen, at the conference, people are chiefing, and it's not for me to judge them, but it also lets me know that I can't trust them, not to the fullest degree. Unfortunately, that's how my dad and brother are, and happy and mean unless they chief. I recognize our consciousness is so different. Thank you, Aris. Oh, I appreciate it, love. Thank you. Yes, it's very important for us to recognize that. And even though it's being promoted in culture and it's part of a cultural trend, it doesn't make it right. It doesn't make it right. There's a lot of things being promoted in our culture right now, and it doesn't make it right. So I'm just saying, if y'all are chiefers, I already know you've been chiefing. FleurBrun's been around the block. I'm from New York City. I took the subway every day, the 2 train to go to college. If you think that you're getting over on me, it isn't. I'm not judging you based on what you do, but I'm telling you that I trust you zero. You aren't trusted in my world around me totally. So just know, if you're a chiefer every day, FleurBrun doesn't trust you. Not totally. I trust that you're going to do what you want to do, but I also trust that you're compromisable, and that's it. Does it make you a bad person? No, because everybody's been compromised at different points in their life. But that's just how I see it. You're an agent, and you're a potential agent based on your habitual habits that make you susceptible to infiltration. Okay, so those are silent agents. Okay, so let's go to the other silent agents. You know, I'm trying to get it in because I got to go take my mom to the doctor. So there's other silent agents. Okay, so the other agents are people who are sexually deprived, people who are unable to control themselves sexually. Those are agents, okay? Silent agents. Why are they silent agents? Because they have a host of, if they're unable to have a layer of self-mastery or self-control. You know, people were saying, I think there was an argument at the, no, it wasn't, it was a heated discussion at the conference. It wasn't heated like bad. It was heated like there was a difference in opinion. But one thing we discussed is, if you are unable to control yourself around the opposite sex and you are always seeking to have sex with multiple people and you're unable to master your own yearnings, it means that you have compromisable traits. And also, it also means that you are susceptible to infiltration by incubus and succubus. Okay, so when a man is always looking for women, he's unable to focus on, and women as well, this is not just men, women as well, who are always looking for potential partners, are always looking for a man to make them feel, you know, or they're seeking out mates perpetually, they're always on the prowl. It also is a testament that they're compromisable, based on the fact that they don't even have self-awareness enough to know that if they are masters of themselves, they realize that people that are in their frequency will always come to them, and the type of being that will be in their level of obtainment will always be there. So there isn't any chasing. The fact that they're chasing also lets me know the level of their consciousness or of the insecurities. And agents have a layer of insecurity that makes them susceptible to infiltration. And that's another one we're going to talk about. So we talk about the drugs and alcohol, smoking, sugar. Yes, coffee makes us all susceptible for infiltration and agents. The silent agents, we talked about the corporate-based people at the jobs who silently are hating on you or telling, you know, the people above things about you. Then we also talked about the layering of people and your family members who are also stopping you or halting you from doing things when you're about to do things positive. But let's get into the level of agents that have to do with oh, I was just gonna say it. I said sexual. There was another one. Oh, I just went on a tangent and I went one direction too far. What was the other one? Okay, I forgot the other one. I'll go straight to the one I know. This is interesting. It says 3 people are on here and I have 1 like, and I have some kind of weird thing on my phone. This is weird. Okay, so let's go into the agents that are I was going to say something again. Goo. What's the things? Oh, I forgot. I know it's supposed to, oh my gosh, I forgot. Please put a like on the video, even though I see 1 like. It says 1 like on my video. This is how this is an agent. Look, YT, now, social media agents. Let's touch on that. All social media are silent agents. To me, they're overt agents, but to some of us, they're silent agents. All of social media are agents, okay? Insecure. Okay, thank you. Insecurity, thank you. I'll go back to that. But let me talk about social media. All social media are agents. IG, Instagram is an agent. YouTube is an agent. These are big agents. Facebook is an agent. Twitter is an agent. What's that other one you guys do? There's another one that you guys do. I forgot what the other ones are. I forgot. What's the other? Tinder? Tinder is an agent. Tinder is an agent. All of these social medias are agents. They're all agents. They watch your information. They take it. They put it in a archive it. That, look, I have 2 likes on my video. They're agents. They're already watching me. They want to lower my self-esteem. So what do? They say, FleurBrun, nobody likes you. So we'll put a 2 on here. So subconsciously you will think only 2 people like you. It'll make you not talk. But guess what? YouTube can't stop, won't stop. I could care less. I tell people to like me so you guys don't mess with me anymore, so everyone sees me. But at the end of the day, you aren't phasing me, because I'll find another outlet and I'll be heard. Okay, so insecurity is definitely a sign that someone can be a silent agent. Why is that important? I sound like, I sound, every time I say that, I realize I sound a lot like, what's his name? Young Pharaoh, when I say that. Why is this important? We both say that. And I started that years ago, but I don't know who did it first, me or him, or it's just we come from the community of lecturers. Maybe we just do it because we come from that community. Um, because I say it every time I say it, I was like, I sound like him. Anyway, so Snapchat is an agent. Okay, so insecurity is a number one way that people can be infiltrated, and we talked about this all the time. And people get on me sometimes to be like, FleurBrun, why are you saying this? You're hurting. Listen. Let's keep it real. We're keeping it real. It's after the conference. I've been upgraded. I've been upgraded. I'm flying high. I'm flying high to the stars, family, and I'm coming with intel. Okay. Insecurity allows you to be susceptible to infiltration by agencies because whatever you're insecure about, they can remedy it and give you a reward that allows you to be susceptible to infiltrating people. So what do I mean? So I've always told you that poverty is a sin because people accepting poverty or limited fiat is accepting that they aren't worthy of universal alignment and balance. When you are feeling insecure about your finances and you're playing that out and manifesting that type of layer of a layer of lifestyle, then you are infiltratable by people offering you money to talk on platforms and be not tell the truth. You're susceptible to getting money for compromising you sexually. You may dance on a pole. You may, have sex on camera. You may, sleep with a man that you don't like. A lot of women are susceptible to this kind of infiltration and become agents just by default by compromising themselves sexually and getting with sugar daddies because they don't feel like they're worthy of obtaining abundance themselves. So they're parasiting off of others. So it makes them susceptible to agencies. Okay. So anybody who's suffering from insecurity, people who don't like you seeing them, people who don't like coming around you, who are insecure, who say that they're shy. Shyness is a sign of insecurity, but also that makes them susceptible to agencies because when you are insecure about yourself, it means that you are doubting your infinite creator. And if you're doubting your infinite creator, it means that you're not quite as conscious as you may be denoting. You see this a lot on social media and you see this a lot in a lot of YouTubers. Okay, a YouTuber who is always not being thorough or not being transparent with themselves, them showing an aspect of themselves but not showing everything. This is the number one reason why I require people to meet me in person. I don't require it. I like it. People are saying, why do you do this? I want to meet you in person. I do want to meet you in person. I love meeting you in person. You know why? Because I can vet you out and you can vet me out. Because a lot of times, people will say I'm all kinds of ways. You can come and meet me and then you'll see who I really am. Then you can judge for yourself. I'm a real deal Holyfield. I prefer to meet you in person so I can see who you are. Because a lot of times over these screens, we can put up all kinds of falsettos of who and what we are. But when we meet each other, that's the real. And you get to feel the vibration of someone so that you can vet them out. And also you can see if they shapeshift in person. There's a lot of things you can do when you meet people personally. So I'm not a fan. That's why I invite everybody to my conferences. Because I want to meet them. I invited Sonia Barrett. Remember, I invited Sonia Barrett to my conference because I wanted to meet her. I invited Osset and Aluna to my conference because I wanted to meet them. Whoever I admire and I want to meet, I want to meet them so I see who they are. I want to meet them so I can feel their vibration. I'm keeping it real. People are like, oh, it's not even anything. I'm that type of person. I'm from Mount Vernon, New York. Our town was really small. We're a suburb of New York City. I knew everybody. My parents knew everybody in town. Maybe that's my personality, but one thing I say is you meet anyone at the conference, you could talk to anyone who went to the conference. They will tell you who I am. So if anybody questions my motivation, my integrity, I could be all kinds of ways, but you talk to the people who know me. And there isn't any hiding. I'm not hiding behind a screen telling you I'm love and light. I tell you that I have my, sometimes I have my peace of mind compromised sometimes. I keep it real. And not that I say I'm better than anyone, but I'm just telling you, I like to meet people so they can keep it real with me. I care. Can you guys see me? I don't know if you can see me. I want to see you shapeshift. We saw shapeshifters. We saw shapeshifters at the conference. Yes, we did. Okay, so keep going. Okay, so I'm gonna keep going. So anyway, so insecurity is also a way that someone can be a stylist. So if people don't show themselves, if people are not transparent with you, I wouldn't trust them. If I don't know you and you don't want to be around me, it doesn't mean some people may not be want. What I have to be, okay, so let me keep it real. I don't want to make it seem like anybody who doesn't want to meet me is not real. Some people are very frightened of me. I realize that with the conferences, people are very frightened of me and people around me. So let me state that. Sometimes it's not insecurity, it's just being cautious. There are people who are scared to meet me because they think I'm, in contact with ETs and they're afraid of the people around me. And I understand that, because if you're not really about that life, then you shouldn't be about that life. You understand? So, but my thing is, if you about that life and you say you don't want to be around me because you're scared, that lets me know you're not about that life. That means you're a falsetto. That means you're some sort of parasite that's perpetuating themselves as someone real who isn't. So when people are about this life on YouTube and they are scared of me, that's how I know that's a lie. Especially if they're promoting themselves as light workers or whatever, gurus. I don't know. There's all these terms they use on I don't know. They have these terms. I'm not really that deep, mama. I'm just real because I'm a little, you know what it is? I look a lot younger than what I am. So I think a lot of people are shocked because I'm just transparent, but that comes with age. I'm a little more seasoned. And as I've gained more seasoning, I've just become more thorough. That's all. I want to give myself more credit. As you get a little older, as you gain wisdom, you just become less phased. When I was younger, I wasn't always like this. I was a little more phased, okay? But now I've had my beautiful babies. I'm living my life. I'm living my best life. I'm less phased. That's all it is. So I don't want to give myself any more credit. Me being a little more integrity ridden has to do with being seasoned and being through some stuff and coming out better. So I understand. But I would be cautious, family. If people don't let you see them in person, like if you go to because Offset lets people come to meet her in person. Big ups to Offset. Offset does allow people to come meet her in person. So Offset is thorough. She's not hiding anywhere. She comes, I've seen her do events and stuff like that. She went to Gano Grills, which is disgusting. She went to Gano Grills and he was disrespectful. So Offset actually is authentic. I could vet her out even though I've not met her. I wanted to meet her in person, and I will if she's down. But I wanted to meet her in person because I'm in admiration of her. So because of that, yes, Sonia Barrett, she came to my conference. I like Sonia Barrett. I wanted to meet her so much. So she came and she was really, she was amazing. Like meeting her in person was like, to me, that's someone I've been wanting to meet for a long time. So like I said, Offset's platform, I know that she's real because she goes out and meets people. She goes and meets people publicly. She's gone to events. So I know she's thorough. So I could vet her out, even not meeting her, because I've seen her go places. She's not hiding somewhere under a rock somewhere. She's going out and she's greeting people and she's meeting people. So it means because she's about that life. So when you're about that life and you say that you're here for humanity or helping people, you're going to show up helping people. You won't be somewhere trying to avoid people. You'll be helping people. So when someone says on social media that they are helping humanity or they're helping people, but they're never around any people, I would say that that's a lie. Like Judge Judy? Oh, it was like a lie detector. I would say that that's a lie. If they are not going out being thorough, and I'm not saying they have to go everywhere, but I'm just saying that they're saying that they want to help humanity, but they're not around humanity. Like it's like Nature Not. Remember Nature Not? Maury said that. Maybe Nature Not. I asked him one time, how are you helping people? Are you going to people and meeting them and helping them? He said, why? I do it on social media. This is what this clown said. He said, why? I don't have to go to people to help them. I said, why don't you go to shelters and so on? You said you want to help people. Why don't you talk about your B12 diet? Why don't you go to shelters and help people that are homeless? Why don't you talk to the people that you claim that you want to, that you're trying to accept? He said he didn't have to. He said social media is all, he doesn't want to. He doesn't want to be around those people. This is what this man said. So another way that you can also vet out a silent agent is that they're silent. They are not around people. They are hiding. I tell a lot of our young sea stars, if you're hiding behind closed doors, you're really not that thorough, and you're really not that self-aware, because self-awareness, heightened self-awareness makes you confident, and it makes you sit in the world with a sense of peace. There's an unwavering peace around these people. So that's how you vet out silent agents. If people are not overt in how they show up in the world and they hide themselves, that is a sign that something is, they aren't thorough. There's something they're hiding. And when people hide things, it may not be bad. Maybe something, maybe a layer of insecurity. But remember, we talked about a lot of agents are insecure. Silent agents deal with insecurity. So, that's also a sign. So if they're hiding and they're insecure, that means they're not about that life. Now, and like I said, in social media, it's very easy to hide behind a screen and just show yourself on the screen as one person. But how you vet people out, that's what I love. That's what I like. I even like that about the pseudo-conscious community. What time is it, family? I gotta go soon. Did I go to 10:30? I gotta get out of here at 10:10. 10:10 wins. I gotta be 10. Yeah, 10:10. What time is it? I'm sorry, I can't see the time. Well, I didn't like what Gano Grills did to us at an event. Oh, 9:58. Oh, thank you. 9:58. That's fine. I didn't like what he did. I know Osset went to an event. And then even listen to this. One of the agents was going to people in my group. Listen to this. This is how you know how nasty people are. And be careful by listening to people who don't know people. Someone was going around to people in my group before the conference telling them that Osset didn't want to come because she thought she would be, what did the girl say? Oh, what did she say? She said that Osset said, now I spoke to Osset before, so I know it's untrue, but she said Osset didn't come to my conference because she felt that she was going to be body snatched. Listen to how people do. So this is after you have to be careful with agents. There's a silent agent going around calling people, acting as if she knows Osset, and she went to Osset. She's telling people, I got to text Osset. I forgot to text Osset because I just heard about this weekend. She's telling people, she's calling people, telling Osset, saying that Osset said that she won't come to my conference because I'm body snatching. That Osset really didn't go because she was scared to be body snatched. Can you believe that? Yeah, this is a girl who's like, this is why you have to be careful on social media too. That's why we need to meet in person. Because people get away with doing that kind of thing because they think we don't talk. See, I talked to Osset behind the scenes. That wasn't the case, and I knew why she was unable to come. And she told me right away why she couldn't come. And before she even accepted to come, she told me why it may have been a problem that she couldn't come because her daughter was turning 1. But that also lets you know that there are silent agents that will utilize the fact that they think we don't talk to one another, and they will try to start ish. That's a silent agent. The person won't do it overtly, but they'll go around starting to cause ish. Be careful of these people. If you're getting phone calls from people saying things, go ask the person. Ask the person. I forgot to do it because it just happened this weekend. So I'm gonna ask her if that's true. I know it isn't true because I've talked to her from then, but you see how nasty that is? That's nasty. Calling people for the conference because she didn't want them to go to the conference, and she wanted to make it seem like I was going to hurt them with my children at the conference. These are agents, and then they wonder why I removed them from Cypher. This is the reason why I removed this person from Cypher. Every reason why I removed them from my group is why they're doing that now. Oh, I remember, I think it was Gano Grill's event with Osset. She went to an event with Gano Grills. I think this was years ago. What was it, like 2 years ago? I watched the video. She could probably verify this more. I can't say say verbatim what happened, but I know that she went and he was disrespectful to some of the women that she brought to the event and acted disrespectful about her name, all kinds of craziness. I was like, listen, some of these undivine males who act like they're so conscious, once they disrespect women like that, I will never rock with him. I don't even care if it wasn't all that true. Just the fact that he disrespected someone going to his event that paid their money to attend an event to hear his information, that'll let me know he isn't in sync with me. Because if someone's coming to your event, you should be respectful and you should be grateful for them to want to attend your event. That's just my thing. He believes he's Thoth in the flesh. Well, I don't know who he is. I don't know. I can't say yay or nay to that. I don't listen to him enough to really vet him out. I just didn't like what I heard and what I saw, I witnessed as far as the other sea stars were concerned. That's all. I don't know. Anyway, so that was the case with that. So that's a silent agent. Okay, we talked about silent agents that are insecure. We talked about social media silent agents. We talked about people who hide themselves, who are not willing to be overtly, who are not who won't who say that they're one way, but they hide themselves in another way. Okay, so that we talked about that. Now we're going to talk about real silent agents, the agents of the matrix that are set out to cause you harm. Now many of us in the UFO and ET community struggle with infiltration from others a lot of times, because it's hard to vet out in the UFO and ET community who and what people are, based on the fact that, a lot of times we don't even know if people are even sane. There's a layer of insanity sometimes that comes with, or mental illness that comes with the UFO ET community. It just does. Sometimes it's about, because people who are suffering from mental illness sometimes will kind of participate in these communities with a level of intel that if you aren't aware and you are, not a veteran, you can be infiltrated. You can kind of be confused or misled. Okay, so that being said, you have to, in the UFO ET community, a lot of times what happens is that you have a layer of infiltration silent agencies that come into the ET community. Okay, sorry about that. It buffers every time I talk about something relative. Okay, I'm gonna make this quick because I have to go. But in the ET community, we do have a lot of agents. So a lot of times you got like David Wilcock, who is, and how I've learned to maneuver in this community, I don't really intercede in the community that much. They stay away from me. Okay, I'm the only woman let me say this, I'm one of the only women in the UFO ET community that so overtly speaks about these topics connected to the cosmic interfacing. And I'm definitely the only woman of color who speaks to this with being a contactee. I'm one of the only women publicly of color who speaks about. I don't see you. Are you there? Okay, you are there? Okay, looks like it's connecting on my side. 13, you guys can see me? 13? Okay, it's okay because it shows me it's like circling on my side. Okay, oh, let me say this with Brother Panic. Okay, you guys can see me. With Brother Panic, to be honest, I think he's probably legitimate as far as, I don't like what he discusses as far as the way he discusses it in connection to Satanism, but I will say Brother Panic is the real deal Holyfield. Okay, I'm not giving him my approval, but he is authentic. That's why he doesn't have that many subscribers. Okay, and also, yes, they will infiltrate channels. If someone is infiltrated all the time, if they're saying truth and it's against the matrix, if someone's a whistleblower and they're allowed to give their message out without any layer of interference, it's also a sign that they are part of the agenda. They may not even know it. Let's just state that they may not even know it. So can you guys see me? Yeah. So I'll just say that I don't want to make it seem like I'm the only authentic person, but I noticed that the most, vetted out people that I know for a fact are really contactees or have a layer of really great intel, they don't have 100 subscribers. They don't have over 100 subscribers. If they do, there's a layer of interference that is occurring, that is in agenda, that is in with the agenda. Okay? Because they're not going to allow you to speak about things that are going to break down the system. They will always accept that. Are you guys there? Oh man, they're really trying hard. You there? Are you guys there? It says it's reading it on my side. Okay, you guys can hear me. Okay. Okay. Oh, it's 10:01. Okay, 10:07. I've got to go in 3 minutes. So let me just state this. Yeah, if be 700,000 subscribers. Like, if you look at people who have a lot of subscribers, like the $1 million subscribers, like I was looking at ASMR, which I didn't know existed until my mom sent me a video. I mean, you have people eating pickles and donuts and chewing online, and they have over 1 million subscribers. It lets you know what they will promote. And if someone is an Intellist and they're really breaking the Intel loop, they won't be in they won't be in the wave. What is it? They won't be promoted. Do you understand? And they will always have interference. They interfere. How I know sometimes that I'm on to something is the interference is strong. Sometimes I'm not on, and they'll let the whole feed. If it's something that's in the wave of whatever they want to promote, they'll let me go. That is why I'm not invited. I haven't ever been invited to a UFO conference because because I don't talk about ETs that they're in alignment with, and there isn't any validity. They won't invite me, not because I'm not a contactee, but because they're afraid of me disclosing things that would let people know other beings that are coexisting here. Okay, so they will block out anyone. So that's also how you know of silent agents. Silent agents are actually not that silent. So in the terms of YouTube and who's being promoted and who's in the wave of intel, they literally will. Oh, thank you for Penn for the donation. I appreciate it. Thank you. I appreciate it. I just saw it. They will let them go through the they'll be promoted. They won't be sidebarred. You know, if someone's talking about things that are Satanist based, they'll let them go in the thing. If they're talking about light work and it's all in Oh, you guys are still here? You actually have me. I did everything I was supposed to do. Hold on. Where's my keys? You guys are still here? Y'all are thorough. It said only 5 people were in here. Can you see me? I actually ran in the house, ran out the house, did my thing, and you guys are still here. Let me see if you're still in the house. Okay. If you can see me, put a 13. I don't know if anybody's in here. I think you guys are still here. You guys are here. Wow. This is, talk about dedication. I love when you guys talk to it. It was buffering. Okay. So you guys are, wow. I love it. Listen, I like that you guys chat amongst each other. If anything else, I appreciate you talking amongst each other. Okay. So I guess I can get into the discussion. I went in and out. I already spoke to my mother's doctor. I did all that. So I guess you have me for a couple more minutes, right? I changed location, so I'm somewhere else. I'm with my mom. Okay, so, okay, what were we getting into? Okay, so agents, right? You put a 12 in there. Hey, loves. So, okay, so we're getting to agents and online agents and how it works. So silent agents are those beings that you have to be massively concerned with because they have anonymity. They are basically, hey Lynn, they basically are allowed to create a level of influence in your lives because you are unable to see them. So with that anonymity, they get away with causing ish. Now, how are they silent? They're silent because you are unaware of them. They hide and they cloak themselves either through positions in your life that seem that seem stable, or your unawareness of how they feel about you. You know, some people may hate you and they become a silent agent, but you never know because you don't know how they feel about you. And anytime you're doing something that may be whatever they desire to object to or to infiltrate or to sidebar, they will do things cloaked. They'll do things with anonymity, because if you don't know who they are and how they feel about you, it's easy for them to manipulate or create strife in your life. And you won't know where it's coming from. You'll think it's you, you'll think it's somebody else, and it's really a silent agent. Okay? Do they hurt you? They can. Or it just can inconvenience you or annoy you or agitate you. It depends on what their objective is. Okay? So how do we always talk about the issue, but you know I'm a fan of getting resolvement. Okay? When I always talk to many of you and myself, becoming heightened in awareness lets you be able to pierce through the veil of lies, misnomers, and people's cloaks or their veil or their representatives. Okay, I was trying to look for the word representatives. So people have representatives. In order to pierce through these naturally with a layer of knowing, you have to be heightened in awareness. What happened? Lynn, what are you concerned about? FleurBrun, last night an old tape on cloning came up, and other clone tapes some I saw, but new tape on clone and Bitcoin, and they use clone looking like your old self from 2016 video. Didn't like that. What happened? They used a clone looking like myself? Lynn, what are you talking about? Can you send me whatever you're sending? I don't know what you're talking about. They use me? Who used me? Did someone put a video of me up? They use a lot of my video clips. They sometimes use my video clips when I talk about cloning or other things or reptilians. Can you share the link? The new clone was you? What? Can you share it? What are you talking about, Lynn? New tapes on clones, and they used a picture of me? Huh? I don't understand. Yes, an old on your clone. Lynn, can you send me? I don't know what you're talking about. Lynn, you're gonna have to share the video, because I don't know. I don't understand it. I don't know what you're talking about. I don't know if you mean they took a clip of one of my videos. Okay, just send me it in my email. I assume in my email, please, because I don't know what you're talking about. It's getting lost in the sauce on here. They use my videos on cloning, though. Do you know that? If they use something, you know, they don't want me to get litigious either. Uh-oh. Something just happened. Something just happened. Okay, so let's go into clones, because I think this is going off into another direction. No, new clone with Bitcoin and the new clone just like you. Okay, well, okay, I can't speak on it, Lynn, and okay, I can't speak on it because I don't know what it is, and I can't even fathom what you're saying. So when I take a look at it, I'll speak on it. Okay? And now they're making noise. This is classic. As soon as I'm talking about something that's like distractions, this is a little bit of a distraction. Do you understand? As soon as I talk about agents, all of a sudden, like, there's distractions, and now there's loud noise. You hear that? Wow. I'm gonna have to change locations. Okay. Yeah, it's very strange. That was a bit of a distraction. Okay, he turned it off. Okay. Let's go back to the topic. You know, I want to make sure I stay on topic. Okay, so anyway, agents don't always know they're agents. They're just susceptible based on behavioral patterns. So remember, if someone is on drugs, alcohol, or they're having low field sexual liaisons, they have a lack of self-awareness, they're suffering from low self-esteem, or they're challenged financially, these are all people who can be susceptible by agencies. They can be susceptible by the nature of them having questionable frequencies, challenge frequencies or vibrations that leave them open for infiltration. So those are number one. But when you start to get into the realms of YouTube, and Instagram and Tinder and Twitter and all these type of social medias, the social media was created in order to have a level of stalkery with us. One way that they can watch us and they can monitor what we share and who we share it with is by creating these wonderful platforms where we exchange information, and they can tell who's sharing information with who and how that information is translating in each one of our lives. That's why I say to you a lot of times, like someone asked about Brother Panic, and even though he isn't my cup of tea, how I know Brother Panic is the real deal, and what he shares is because the level of non-popularity he has on YouTube. And I know his intel. Not saying everyone who's unpopular on YouTube is the real deal, but I know his information is on point. I know for a fact. I just don't like talking about all that Satanist. That isn't my cup of tea. So that's my judgment. But what he shares is on point. So his platform, did you see that flash of light? His platform is very nominal, and it just grows. With me, you already know how they get down with my platform. So I'm the greatest example. And like I said, for someone being in the ET and UFO community, I haven't ever, because someone tried to say this. Let me clear up. There's so many things that get said behind the closed door, and maybe I should address them. Someone had said, contact in the desert. What was it? Contact in the desert, and there was another. I think it was Contact in the Desert, and there was another UFO conference, a really big one. And someone had lied. Someone from the conference, I don't know if it was a promoter. I don't know who it was. Someone who was promoting, or someone who's part of those conferences, went and told people who asked about me that I rejected their invitation. That is a lie. I haven't ever been contacted by Contact in the Desert. I haven't ever been contacted by any UFO or ET platform to ever speak, ever. They are aware of who I am. They know what I speak about, and they know the intel I share is legitimate. There are people on their platforms who talk about blowing up bases in their dream state. And I have sigils on my body. I have tangible evidence that I've had contact, and they have never invited me. Remember, I'm not begging for it because I've created my own conferences. But a lot of time, if you are not supporting whoever they're in contact with, because I don't talk about lunar males and I haven't seen any lunar extraterrestrials, they block me. Because they don't want people knowing that there are brown extraterrestrials having an interface, especially tall, melanated, dreadlock Andromedans having a layer of interfacing with woman on this planet. And that scares them, because remember, they're part of the brotherhood. So if you notice anything, they won't ever invite me. And anybody like Billy Carson, those people who are being invited to those platforms, you should really question. I'm being honest, family. I know a lot of you like Billy Carson, but Billy Carson is really just a scholar. He studies well. He studies a lot of ancient Kemetic information. He's good at that, but he isn't a contactee. And why are they propelling him? And remember, Billy Carson comes from like that athlete life. He was noted as being like a coach, or what was he, a coach or something like that. A lot of you like Billy Carson because his information is great, but he's a scholar. He isn't a contactee. Why are they propelling him? Why are they pushing him? Because he talks about the narrative of grays. He speaks about things that they're in alignment with. He's being propelled and pushed. He's on every platform out of the blue. He's the token brown man on these platforms. And I say token to literally say that's why he's being used. So they can say, oh, we have a brown person on these platforms, but he isn't a contactee. He said somebody said he had a layer of something recently with grays. That isn't a contactee, that is infiltration. If he's seeing grays, that means he's probably governmentally based. I'm not saying that I know for sure, but he's being promoted and he's on a lot of celebrity contacts in the desert, a lot of these big platforms. So I'm just saying, family, whenever you're seeing like someone like me who's literally a contactee, who's talked to, and Dr. Deborah Blair was never put in any platform. Dr. Deborah Blair was never placed on any, was never asked to go on any of these. Dr. Deborah Blair was never invited to any of these UFO ET communities, and he had a plethora of knowledge. So if you're saying that it's valid and that these platforms are legitimate, why aren't they taking the one woman of color? Why would they give it? So whoever said that had contacted the desert, I don't remember who said it. Was two of the Sea Stars said they had talked to the people there and had asked why I'm not being invited. That is a lie. If they told you that they asked me to go there and I didn't come, that is a straight out lie. There hasn't been any ever. And I tell you, whoever they're inviting to these conferences, I wouldn't trust them. Because if they're not inviting everyone and it is an inclusive forum, I'm not saying, like I said, the UFO and ET community is not that big. They know who each one of us are. They know us all. Everybody knows each other in this community. If you aren't being invited to these, Riley Martin and a lot of these people were being clowned. The only thing I'll say about this is that I didn't like how some of the brown contactees like Riley Martin and what's the other one were on Howard Stern, and they were clowned and made fun of and almost made like a joke, like a caricature. That's disrespectful. And that lets you know how they feel about people having contact. And Riley Martin had real contact. I mean, real legitimate contact. So I'm just saying, I'm calling a spade a spade. If you're legitimate, if they're on here watching, if y'all are legitimate, why wouldn't you have regular people who are having contact, legitimate contact, who have pictures, proof that they had contact? Why are you having clowneries on your platforms saying that they're blowing up bases in secret space programs that they can't even prove? I'm just saying. It's hard to prove things in the ET community, so you want to go with the more tangible people. And remember, I'm going to blow some spots too. A lot of these people are high all the time. All these people at these conferences are alcoholics and high. So you're going to trust people who do drugs and alcohol daily and call them legitimate? If you're getting high all the time, how can you prove someone's legitimacy? They can be having a layer of hallucinations. If you aren't having sober people to these conferences who don't get high daily on marijuana or on drugs or cocaine or heroin, I don't know, on prescription drugs or on alcohol, because I've heard of people throwing up because they were so drunk, then you aren't legitimate. So I'm just saying, family, I'm calling a spade. And, at my conference, I had some amazing people speaking. And when you see the difference of how they speak and the tangible proof and things that they talk about, it blows whatever they share at those conferences out of the water. That's all I'm saying. So, booyah. And I gotta give a shout out to the two Sea Stars who I did give the address to. These beautiful Sea Stars didn't make it because FleurBrun was very paranoid, and I can always say when I'm wrong. Two Sea Stars did not get the address of the place, and they paid for it. I refunded money, but I want to say sorry to the two Sea Stars who didn't make it. That's how I get down, family. I'm that kind of paranoid. No one knew the address until the day they were going to the event, because that's how protective I am of my environment. I only gave people the address the day of the event. Ask anybody who went. There was two people who didn't get it. That just happened to be by chance. It wasn't purposeful. It was an accident. They got lost in the sauce. Holly says, I just did a video about my husband being an agent on my channel. Yes, he boozes it and plays on the web, opening up mess and portals. Yup. But I sound crazy when talking about it. You don't sound crazy, my love. You sound rational, and you sound like you're blowing his spot, and he should have his spot blown. Okay? You shouldn't trust anyone who does drugs and alcohol. I'm telling you. I know I sound like a square, but FleurBrun has a lot of fun. And you can get high on mangoes, butt naked, in a tropical area on a beach. I'm just saying. I'm just saying I trust zero people who get high daily. If someone requires drugs daily, I don't trust them. I don't trust them. No, he tried putting you in a mental ward. Well, I think someone who is an alcoholic putting someone who is sober in a mental ward, that's called projection. That's called projection. Okay, so that's all I wanted to say, Phil. Oh, so what are the remedies? Because I don't want to give you, anything without giving you remedies. High on mangoes. I get high on mangoes. I love mangoes. You know how I get high on mangoes? This is my natural high. I love eating mangoes bucket naked on a hammock in the sunshine right next to the beach. That's my high. So listen, that's as high as I get. Okay, so that's how I love it. I know people don't like that. Like, oh, FleurBrun's talking about being naked all the while. There isn't anything wrong with being in my skin. I'm tired of people making it seem like them looking at my, I'm a little busty babs, like seeing a little skin bothers you. If my skin bothers you, we were born in the exact way we're supposed to be. Every animal is born with fur in the way that if you're born with fur, then you're supposed to be in a colder region. If you're born without it, then you're in a warmer region. We weren't supposed to put clothes on. That's a colonistic type of behavior. Please don't bring that over to this platform saying that I'm not trying to attract men on here. You haven't heard any men on my platform ever said that I'm trying to solicit them. I never allow any man to solicit me online. So let's keep realistic. I'm getting at all the misnomers today. Yeah, I believe in eating mangoes bucket naked in a hammock next to the beach. That's my high. And if you think that's trustworthy, then you should take credence and think that I have credibility in the things I say. That's as high as I get. When I drink coffee, that's probably as high as I get. Because people were, no, there was like a platform. I don't think they meant to say anything. They were just saying that I'm always having my bust out. I'm a busty babs, and I really cover myself up more. I try to as much as possible, but why should I cover myself? I'm a natural woman. I'm 100% heirloom. I have 0 tattoos on me. I'm drug-free and alcohol-free. I had 2 beautiful babies that I nursed. I eat 90%, I can't say 100, 90% of what I consume is GMO-free. Yes, I'm a thickums because I like to eat all the time, and I'm mostly a fruitarian. So if you think those are notable things that you can trust in a person, and I'm pretty honest, I rarely lie. I won't say that I don't lie because there's times when I don't want to hurt people's feelings. I rarely lie, and I'm from Mount Vernon, New York, and I'm a contactee. Okay? Okay. So let me give some remedies. Yeah, I'm in Florida. It's true. I'm always wearing sundresses, and I don't like brassieres. I don't know why everyone gets mad. No woman likes brassieres. Let me not get into it. We burn bras the other. Big up to who joined us on IG burning bras. I don't like brassieres. And the fact that I'm a bustier babs, brassieres are abusive and they were created by the patriarchy to suppress our boobies. Our breasts are supposed to be free and clear. It isn't natural. It isn't natural. And I don't want to get on that because that's a whole nother tangent. And if you have an issue with that, I'm not the channel to watch because I'm going to stop being so apologetic anymore about me being me. I'm a natural woman. I was born and bred this way. I'm just natural. Okay? So I'm unapologetic about me being a thickums, me being busted. I appreciate how I showed up in this world, and I'm going to be unapologetic about that from now on. I've decided that apologizing about that is insane. Okay? If you don't like boobies and you don't like brown skinned women and you don't like someone talking about the things I talk about, then unsubscribe to me. I'm okay with that. There are people that you really will resonate with, and it may not be me. That's all. You get high off French fries? See, Sarah said she gets high off French fries. Let's see. Okay, you stop wearing bras. It's abusive. Bras are abusive. I wear them only because I don't want to offend anyone. But yeah, it just hurts. It bothers me. And it just makes me feel uncomfortable all the time. And I'm not saying I want to offend anyone, but I'm like, we live in a world where being natural is being like demonized. It's really sad. And then when I talk about agents, people are like, oh, you know, FleurBrun, you talk about agents, but you talk about being bucket naked. Yes, I was born this way. I'm a sun being. I have this copper skin to sit underneath the sun. That's what I'm supposed to do. I'm supposed to be underneath the sun without like hindrance on my skin. Why do you think most people are suffering from vitamin D deficiencies? Because we're not getting enough sun on our full-on skin. Our ancestors weren't wearing brassieres. What is this crazy world we're living in? I'm going on a rant today. It's not even past midnight. Yeah. We have a whole lot of issues with our breasts because and also, you know, we got to be careful. Our sun stars have to have self-control. Like, they always are telling women to cover themselves up, but why aren't you teaching males to have self-mastery? This is the insanity of secret agencies in our world. There's secret agencies that flip mode what is natural and make it unnatural. Like, why aren't you teaching the little boys to have self-control? Why are you telling girls to cover themselves up and you know, crutch males who are unable to master their own sexuality? Teach your little men to be have layers of self-mastery and self-control. If you did that, women could be there are places in South America. I saw so many sexy women in South America that were just dressed beautifully. They weren't men smacking their behinds, sucking their teeth. There was a level of comfort and just naturalness to it. You go to places in like places, tropical places, women walking out with their bare bosom, you know, nursing. There aren't men throwing themselves on the floor trying to rape them. That came from patriarchy, like colonizing patriarchies. That's what that comes from. You know, men who have to cover themselves because they're unnatural. They're not even human. They're not even human, family. We're following cues of people that we can't even vet them out as humans. Okay? And I'm rational when I say that. Okay, so let's talk about remedies, because I won't ever give you all the terrible things without giving you a layering of defense and protection. Okay, so we have silent agents. You have them on YouTube, you have them in your family, you have them in your job, you have them in your friendships, you have them even in yourself. Okay, there are silent agents everywhere. And how do we remedy this? Okay, we have to become more self-aware. That's how we remedy it. When we become more efficient in the way that we show up in the world, in our basic behavior, your truth. If you like girls and you don't want to tell people, and you're a girl and you like girls and you're hiding it, then you're hiding an aspect of yourself. And there's going to be a consequence, because you're going to have very unauthentic people show up in your world, because that's an aspect of you. If you're hiding the fact that you're a meat eater, there are a lot of people who are scared to talk about eating meat or talk about it because you have vegan Nazis. And if you're hiding that and acting as if you're a vegan when you're not, there's going to be a layer of disingenuousness that will come and confront you every single time, because you aren't being authentic. Okay? So first thing I will say, stop demonizing yourself. Part of being heightened in self-awareness is acknowledging who and what you are and your basic shadows. If you like to be, I don't know, we all have weird things we do. If you like to be, it's not weird, it's just who you are. If you like to, I don't know, walk barefoot in the rain, and you're hiding that aspect of yourself, walk barefoot in the rain and be unapologetic about it. I'm putting light things out there. Just be authentic with yourself. The more authentic you are with yourself, the more you raise your vibration and your frequency and become more heightened in awareness. Then things aren't going to show up in other people to masquerade themselves to cause you to become aware of those shadows. Okay? Secret agents can only be a infestation in your life if you are heightened, if you aren't heightened in awareness, if you are cloaking aspects of yourself, hiding yourself. Okay? The more authentic you are with yourself, the more authentic things will show up in your life. Okay? So that's the number one remedy, is to show up in your life authentic. It doesn't matter if you eat meat, then eat conscious meat and just be okay with it. And when a Nazi vegan comes to you, you just stand in your truth. Say, this is how I consume. I do it with a level of compassion. You don't even have to defend yourself. Say, I eat this because this is what my body requires, and you need to mind your business and check yourself before you wreck yourself. And talk about the numerous vegans that are suffering from heart attacks and strokes, who are suffering from malnutrition. Speak to that if they come at you any harder. So be okay with you, and stand in your truth, and stand in your affirmity, that when you consume what you eat, that you're doing it for your own self, you're doing it for your own health, health and wealth issue, health and wealth. Okay? Not everybody on this planet is meant to be a vegan, and a lot of these vegan Nazis are starchitarians, and they're suffering from malnutrition. So when they're hostile, back in the days, we didn't see hostile vegans. There's so many hostile vegans now because they're not natural. They're AI. They've got nanotubes all in their brain. Their synapses have been hijacked by nanobots, so they aren't even natural. So if you're being attacked because a natural vegans used to be the most compassionate people. These hostile vegans are AI infested. So if you believe that, then if you're being attacked by a Nazi vegan, just walk away, because they're not rational, because they've got nanobots taking over their brains. Okay? And I'm not saying all meat eaters are rational either, but there's an attack on people eating what's good for them. Not everybody on the planet most people on the planet, there wasn't a tribe on this planet that were vegan and vegetarians. There were fruitarians, there were breatharians, but vegans, no. It isn't natural to eat. The ideology of veganism is fairly new, and that comes from a motivation to create people that are weak, so that when the pole shift comes, they're edible to the others, so they'll be, food for fodder, or they'll just be able to waste away quicker. That's my opinion. Okay, it's an agenda. Anytime they promote something, it's an agenda. Okay? All the vegans I knew back in the days were so beautifully compassionate. They wouldn't hurt a fly, and they certainly wouldn't curse out people online. That's how you know they're not real vegans. They're starchitarians. Stay away from them. Flexitarianism is more natural. Fruitarianism is more natural, and certainly fruitarianism with a dash of pescatarianism. Okay, that's more natural. But those natives from this part of the country, like North America, they were eating like bison, venison, in Europe, quail. So yeah, so just be careful of that, and all these mock meats, because all these mock meats are also like soy lectin. Yeah, it's probably human flesh. It's not animal flesh. They'll probably say no animal products, but they won't say no human products, right? So be careful when you vegans are eating non-animal products, because it isn't devoid of human products. Okay, so saying it is an animal, you gotta be careful. Okay. All right, so be authentic in yourself, so you can kind of bypass being preyed upon by silent agents, okay? And be self-aware in your environment. If you are working in a corporate environment that is known to be very cutthroat, or it's competitive, anything in the matrix, any of the matrix jobs will have a layer of silent agents. So be very self-aware of your environment. If you see someone watching you, always trying to ask your personal life, your personal business, but never disclosing their own, always being very inquisitive about what you're doing, those are silent agents. Just be sure that you keep a strong arm and keep them at bay, and make sure that when they come around, you kind of cloak yourself in a beautiful shield, so it just allows for them to try to parasite off of your whatever you're doing and try to sidebar you in any way. Okay. Another way to avoid silent agents, is by fasting. People always say, well, why does fasting matter? Okay. Fasting is a way to clear yourself from parasites within, and it will automatically clear parasites without. Okay, so when you clear the inside, your inner world, your outer world shows up much more pristine. Okay, so I always say if you're having a layer of parasitic people around you or agents that you feel them, but you can't see them, start to fast. It will raise your frequency and your self awareness will spike, and you'll be able to see with clarity. So that means telepathically, you'll be able to, and also psychically, you'll pick up on people that are doing things to you and about you. Like anytime somebody's doing or saying something negative or positive, I can hear them. I can hear them when they're around. I can hear them when they're doing things. I have a layer of overstanding and understanding. Their frequency is being registered by me. So I always know when someone's doing something. So that's why I address things pretty quickly and I'm pretty efficient about it. Just learning, I married one. He took the blood oath while in jail years before. Scram parasite cleanse woke you up. See? Okay, I'm starting master cleanse. Good. You know, fasting is a wonderful way to clear yourself of parasites outside. And also it decloaks people. You know, what I noticed is when I fasted on the 30-day fast, people were decloaked. So those silent agents aren't silent or secret anymore. Okay? Whenever you're fasting, the layers of the cloak will unravel. Like their representatives won't be there anymore. You'll see the real deal Holyfield, including shapeshifters. Okay, so it's not just on one layer, it'll be on all layers. So I would say if you want to get a kind of good consensus of things and you know that agents are around and you can't see them and there's a level of cloaking, I say fast. Even for our small ones, some of our sea stars and sun stars are a little thinner and have faster metabolism, just do a 48-hour fast. Okay, just do a 48-hour fast just to give you clarity. Okay, if you ever question someone, do a clarity. Okay, also to be able to decloak silent agents, start getting up on doing scrying. If you have a soul, okay, I don't assume everybody has a soul here. Okay, if you have a soul, you will have a layer of telekinesis, telepathy, and psychicness that will come with you naturally. That's usually muted by foods, social, economical, influxes, and negative field people. If you clear yourself of that, during a fast, I would do some scrying. Using a pendulum to ask questions, and when you're asking questions with your pendulum, always make sure you're only requiring your ancestors that are with integrity to be able to assist you with answering questions. If you're unable to do yourself, or do it with yourself. Okay? Ask yourself the questions. Write a note or a question underneath your pillow, put it underneath your pillow, and you'll get the answer in your dream state or in the ether state. Start having more dependency on yourself. Refrain from watching these clowneries online telling you how everything is going to be all the time. A lot of people have been infiltrated. So by you watching all these card readers online, these are people who are giving you a perspective from their alignment. So if they aren't aligned in the higher frequencies, then they're only going to give you readings from their position. And there isn't anybody who could tell you more about you than you can tell you about you. Okay? So I always tell you, become more efficient in you reading you. Stop going and paying these people a crap load of money to tell you what you should already know about yourself. And they're only going to tell you from their own perspective of what they see in yourself. So even if they're psychic, they can only tell you aspects of yourself from their own vibration. Okay? Be more efficient in trusting yourself. And that brings up your heightened self-awareness. When you start what the heck? You know what I mean? This is why Florida is quackadoodles. Florida is like the most artificial state, including LA. Like they're always messing with nature. They're cutting, they're pulling out weeds, they're putting pesticides. It is so pretty, but this is the most artificial place in the world. I like real beauty, where it's not being cultivated and manipulated. I'm on a rant today. I'm gonna stop drinking coffee tomorrow. Don't worry, family, it's really the coffee. Yeah, careful giving your personal information. Yes, thank you. Who said this? Yes, Bella is absolutely correct. When you're going and getting these readings, which I've already that is my recommendation that you refrain from doing that. You need to pony up on your own vibration. if you're going to go to people, you giving your personal information is almost like you giving them consent to intercede in your own vibration. And we talked about this, is that if someone sees that you're financially astute, and a lot of these readers are parasites, if they see that you're wealthy in the cards, right, and they want what you have, what makes you think they won't parasite off of your energetic fields and attach to you to gain some of whatever you have to parasite off of? So every time you go to a new reader, if they're registering your wealth, or you're doing healthy financially, they could parasite, or energetically, they could parasite off of your light. The only way you can assert that that won't happen is if you pony up and if you want to read, want to learn how to read cards, you read cards. There's so many tutorials online now. You could do it yourself. If you want to learn how to read palms, you read palms. Go get a palm reading book. If you want to learn how to, speak to the ancestors, you learn how to speak to the ancestors. Stop going to third parties. That's another way you become heightened in awareness. There isn't anybody I'm going to vet out me. I know me. I know more about me. I know what bothers me. I know what phases me. I know what excites me. I know what makes me thrive. I know me. So if I want to learn something, if I want to know something spiritually about me, I'll just go look at my crystal ball. I'll look for me. I'll take out the middleman, because I don't want him knowing my business or her knowing my business anyway. So what, she could parasite off of me, or she could talk smack about me, or she could bring my personal information. That's why a lot of times I tell people, people say, FleurBrun, I want to send you something. Don't send me anything. I did that one time, and I sent it to another direction, and the person got upset because I didn't thank them enough. I'm okay with me. Be okay with you. That's how you protect yourself from silent agents. And when you are good with you, and you're astute in your spirituality, there isn't anybody who could get over on you. Okay? It doesn't matter how they show up, how beautiful and shiny they look. Chances are you could tell you could tell a piece of coal from a diamond when you're astute, when you pony up on yourself. Okay? And like I said, people always ask me, why do you suggest fasting? Fasting is one of the quickest, easiest ways to get yourself clean. Oh God. Okay. Do you? I used to say that to my ex all the time. I was like, do you? My ex used to say, when I was a young girl, then when I was dating, my ex, right? So my ex used to say to me, I want to know what you're doing. This is his, oh God. Really? This is not nature. It's not nature if you got to do this all the time. Oh, what I used to, this is what my ex used to say to me. So my ex used to say to me all the time, what are you doing? He used to say, where are you going? What are you doing? And I said, I'm doing what you're doing. Listen to how I used to answer. He was like, why do you always say that? Why are you always saying to me when I ask you a question, you're doing what I'm doing? Because if you're asking me what I'm doing, it means that you already are doing something to have to ask me that. If you're not doing, I don't ask. If I'm not up to shade, I don't really expect shade. Do you understand? Shade comes, if you're assuming people are shady, oh God. God bless America. Oh. I'm leaving the country. That's all I'm saying. And he'll tell you that to this day. The first thing I used to say, I personally, like I said, if you aren't doing anything, you don't have to question everything. If I have to question you, it means I'm already in that frequency of not trusting you, and also maybe I shouldn't be trusted. Okay? So that was my response to any mate, and I still do that to the day. If a mate asks me, what are you doing? We're doing what you're doing. What does that mean? I may not be doing exactly what you're doing, but I'm doing whatever frequency you're engaged in, I'm probably doing it too. That'll stop them from inquiring, and also make them reflect on themselves. You used to hate that response? I know. It is what it is, but it turns things back on people who will try to project on you. Okay? You did a 1 day fast. Intermittent fasting is wonderful. So that's a way that you upgrade your awareness. Another way to upgrade your awareness is to speak truth outwardly. Be unafraid and unwavered to speak truth. if you speak truth outwardly, more truth comes into your lane. So what do I mean by this? Like, when we did a clearing in the bayou, we all spoke our names. We were unafraid to speak our names. So we said, my name is da da da, and I want you to be free. We say our full name. When you want clarity and you want transparency, you have to be that way. So be unwavered and don't be mindful not to be facetious, but be clear in the things that are happening. Be always very transparent so you get transparency. So speak a truth. Always speak truth, and truth will always come to you. So a way to dispel what secret agents do is by being transparent all the time. Because one thing secret agents don't like is somebody who's very honest. They are scared. Most secret agents are fearful of FleurBrun, because I'm already a Sag and I'm triple Sag, so I have a big mouth, and I'm from New York, so I'm loud about it. Okay, and because I have a level of integrity in the things that I do, and there isn't anybody pays my bills or does anything to keep me, under a spell, I'm unfazed. So most people are scared of me when I find out something, because they think that their spots will be blown. So being genuine, you get more genuineness. So always be unfazed or unafraid to speak the truth. Always speak truth. If you want truth, you have to speak it out loud. Okay? That's the only way that we can resolve some of the things that are going on. Okay? What else can you do? If you find a secret agent, blow their spot. Okay, because one thing you'll find out is if there's one agent, there's 20 million behind the door. So if you find out, like I told you, that the one girl was calling people and telling them that I was telling people that I said, I just spoke it out. I didn't mind saying it because I know it wasn't true, but saying that Offset didn't go to my conference because she thought she was going to be body snatch. That's untrue. And she called this out. It was a girl named Maitreya. She was going around telling people, it was a girl named Maitreya. She was going around calling people before the conference, telling them that I wasn't pregnant. And I'm saying it out loud. So that's how secret agents get away with being secret agents, because they do things in the cloak of silence. So she was going around calling people Maitreya, telling people that I never was pregnant with twins. Though like she knew me, which was the most traumatic thing that has ever happened to me. So she went around she's calling people before the conference and telling them this. And also she told them that she was telling people, strangers, that she doesn't know like that, telling them that Osset wouldn't come to my conference because she was scared that she was going to body snatch by me, which wasn't true. And apparently she didn't know that me and Osset were speaking behind the scenes. That's what makes her an idiot. Okay, so I'm blowing her spot. You have to speak people out in public. You have to blow their spot so they don't have anonymity. Because if you give them anonymity, speak the agents out. I'm going to stop giving them anonymity. Before I would do it because I wasn't going to big them up. But you need to tell people. So if anybody with that name called you and told you that I wasn't pregnant, that I'm a liar, that I'm violating people in the ether, I'm body snatching people, I don't know if they said I'm sexually accosting people. Mind you, at the conference, my children were there. Okay, if she was so psychic, she would have known that my children were going to be present, and that wouldn't be something I would do if I was a body snatcher. I wouldn't invite my own children. So this lets you know the layer of effect. So now she doesn't have anonymity, and the reason why she's upset is because she was removed from Cypher, like many of the other characters that were removed from Cypher from doing diabolical things and using my group as a come up to gain money. So I didn't like it, and I didn't like her hating on one of my C-stars because she had a new channel that I bigged up. So I removed her. I didn't talk about her or anything, but she went around telling people things like that. So be mindful of agents. That's a silent agent, and now she isn't silent anymore because I blew her spot. So now people will know who did that, and they will go and make her accountable, because everybody knows over here that I was pregnant. So she's already made herself look like a liar. And now Osset will also know that this person is going around tarting her name, making her seem like she's doing that. So now she will be blown. Yeah, she did. Yeah, she brought her name up, and I didn't know about it until the conference. Yeah, saying that she wouldn't come to my conference, that it was a lie that she told, this is why people's spot have to be blown. Say the agent's name. Always call them out. Don't allow them to cloak themselves any longer. The person is asking for people for money all over the place. That's why she was removed from my platform. And then if you look at her platform, you'll see that the person is asking for money on her platform. So everything that I said, and I already shared this with us at previously. So now that she's blowing her own spot. So now people will see that this person is literally doing what I said they were doing, and they're doing it overtly. So I just put that out there. Well, it's just like I said, I would have never said anything, but if you're going out of your way to tell people straight up lies, then you need to have your spot blown. I didn't have a problem removing her from my group. I didn't like what she was doing. I just removed her. That's all. If I don't like something you do, I just remove you from my equation. That's it. I don't really have to talk about you. But when she did something to make herself known to people in a way that was insidious, then her spot is being blown. So now people in her circle will question her and her motivation. Um, if I'm going to get blown for lying, then I'm going to lie 24/7. Yeah. Shaking my head. You can't really be openly you can trust people. You can. I don't want to make it seem like you can't trust people. Believe me, family. I want you to trust people, but I want you to trust people based on how far they go with you. Everyone is trustworthy to a certain extent. People change. People change. Situations change. Scenarios change. You could trust people, but just trust people who have gained your trust. Don't just overtly trust people because they say that they're light workers online. Don't just overtly trust someone who says they love children. Don't trust me just because I say I'm a contactee. Meet me in person. Meet me in person, and then you can see if you can trust me. Meet my children, like at the conference. Meet my children and see what kind of mother I am. Do you understand? So you can only trust people as far as you can throw them. You can only know what people are based on verifying them. And if you can't verify anyone, don't put so much credence and trust in them until you can. Okay? You can usually see somebody by the type of parent they are or the type of family dynamics they come from. Okay? That's just what it is. So if I was such a diabolical person, I would never have my children on site at places that I'm holding events. I wouldn't do it. I would hide them so you wouldn't see an aspect of myself. Okay? So just verify people based on what they show you. And don't give people more credit for things that they don't deserve. Let them show themselves and make them accountable when they do things. You guys make me accountable all the time. What, I'm drinking coffee like a banshee? What do you guys do? It's FleurBrun, that's poisoning you. What do you do? That's poisoning you. You do it all the time. FleurBrun, that person that you vetted out, they're not that way. You guys call me out and I take it and I accept it and I apologize and I keep it moving. Call out people, okay? Call out people and make people accountable for their actions or non-actions, okay? Oh, wait, she's fooling? Lisa said, oh, she's fooling? Lisa, what's going on? No, no one's fooling me. I didn't say, listen, I don't verify, let me say this. I don't verify anyone. All I say is I see people from a distance. I can see I can see if someone's hiding themselves. If they're not hiding themselves, that's a layer that that I can verify isn't happening. I can't verify people's personal life because I'm not in their personal life. Okay? Right? I'm not in their personal life. I can't verify someone's legitimacy all the time. People make mistakes and there's no one important. There's no one who's perfect. So I won't ever sit on here and say someone has to be perfect. Let me state that again. A secret agent doesn't have to be someone who has to be perfect or not perfect. Can I say that? Why? What happened, Lisa? Okay, well, I may not. You may be, Lisa, I may not. I may not know anyone. I don't know anyone. That's why I want to meet everybody. You might be right. That's why I asked to meet everybody. You might be right. I don't know. That's what I'm saying, Lisa. You're not wrong. That's why I want to meet everybody. That's why I'll invite people to come to my conference, or I'll invite people to speak at the conference. I want to meet everybody. I do. So you're right. I don't know anybody. That's why when I meet them, then I know more about them. That's it. That's the only way I can verify. If I don't know you in person, okay, I do. But remember, it's whatever's truth always comes out. Okay, even with me, and it's not just with anybody, one person. It's with me too. So everything comes out eventually. Okay. No, I've never met her in person. I haven't. I haven't met her. I invited her to the conference. I wanted to meet her in person. I wanted to meet Asa in person. Yeah. So I haven't met her in person, and I haven't met Aluna in person. I invited Aluna because I wanted to meet Aluna in person. Anybody invited to the conference is because I wanted to meet them. I don't invite people I don't want to meet. I invited Ace because I wanted to meet in person. Anyone I invite to anything I do, it's because I want to meet them, because I'm intrigued by them and I want to meet them. Okay, that's all. And if people want to meet me, they also give me invitations. Like, I don't get invited to conferences, but people invite me to other things. So when people want to know more about me, they'll invite me to like personal things. Oh, that's beautiful. Jay says, Seth has given her confidence to be sovereign and stop relying on people for information, and grateful for her. That's beautiful. See, Jay has a testament. Yeah. I think she shares some amazing things. And like I said, I invited her and Aluna because I really respected the intel they were giving. And I always give an opportunity to meet people, like I did Sonia Barrett. Sonia Barrett was another one. And I was excited, like a kid in a candy store, when I met Sonia. She was so intrigued. She was so shocked that I felt that way about her. I really, like, I met Sonia Barrett, and I was so excited. I was literally like, I was really excited. Ask her when we met. She was like shocked. She was like, "You really think of me like that?" I was like, "I do. I've been listening to you for so many years." And she was like somebody who I felt I was in alignment with. So I really appreciated it. So big ups to Sonia Barrett. She like rocked my world. She was more than I even anticipated. Let me say that. So big up to Sonia. And she actually was going to do, when Aluna canceled, she was actually going to come up. It's just the date was off. So actually, Sonia Barrett was actually going to come she was going to come. She was bummed that I didn't tell her before. So big up to Sonia Barrett. She was actually going to come and join us. That's how I adore her. I really do. I don't know, I don't know. I can't speak. I know I know, I only know what I know. I don't really know purely. Tien. All right, so I think I kind of layered that effect. So just be mindful of secret agents, and by the only way that you can transmute and kind of transcend their level of anonymity is by blowing their spots and also raising your awareness. The more self-aware you are, the more that you become. The more self-aware you are, is the more that you disallow those from cloaking themselves. So just keep your awareness and eat foods. Make sure another thing to keep from eating foods. That's why I tell you the fasting was important. Keep from eating foods that are muters. Sugar is a muter, and it's a drug. Sugar actually changes your molecular way that your brain synapses function. So sugar disallows from you to seeing the truth. A lot of GMOs, genetically modified homogenized foods. I always say, even if you don't want to fast, go raw. Go on our organic raw journey for a little bit. Not too long. You want to make sure you're efficient in your mineral source, but go raw. If you go raw eating, you'll see people for who they truly are, including yourself. So if you have idiosyncrasies, I had shadows show up like 20 days in my fast, right? Remember that? I was crying. I thought I had dealt with stuff. 20 days in, 20 to 22 days, I was crying. I was like, I didn't deal. There was some shadows that popped out because they were muted. because I couldn't see them. So I had to fast for 30 days. And I didn't get the reveal for certain things until 20 to 22 days. You see that? So even in the fast, I didn't even get to the crux of things until 21 days. When I cracked the yolk at 20 days, that's when everything was revealed about myself. So there isn't anybody who could tell me nobody's going to tell me that I'm a liar, because I'm going to find out if I'm lying to myself. Because there were things I wasn't telling myself that I wasn't aware that I was doing that I found out during my fast. And I was like, I'm really not that enlightened. Best believe I was humbled. 20 to 22 days in. I think you guys remember. If you see my fasting video, you see it. It unraveled. And then I went to Brazil when I 30 days, then I booked to Brazil and I was out. So anyway, family, that's it. I think I shared enough. And again, if you ever want to vet people out, go meet them. Okay? So if you're online, you think someone's a secret agent, always tell them you want to meet them. You know, go meet them, because anybody who isn't a secret agent, you can verify them by meeting them. That's the quickest way, especially many of you are spiritually astute. All you have to do is be in the vibration of someone. You can tell how fake or funky they are, or fresh or amazing they are. You could tell how fake someone is or how authentic someone is when you meet them in person. So if you want to verify anybody, because a lot of people online have what do you call it? Like functions, you know, they have things that they go to. Go meet them. A lot of you go meet them. And you could have got a chance to meet me, but I'm going to be in New York, so you guys can meet me again. I'll be in New York next 3 weeks, and I'm going to do a meet and greet. So you guys can meet me there. So you can tell if I'm faking the funk. You could tell if I'm faking the funk or not. You'd be like, you know what, FleurBrun, you were fake. And you would have a right to be, but then you could verify it for yourself. Instead of seeing, you know, FleurBrun on the screen, you could say, you know what, FleurBrun, I'm not really feeling you. But you could at least verify it, that you don't really like me. You can meet me in person and say you don't like me. But that way you can verify what you resonate with and what you don't. On the screen, anybody could say anything. They could be sitting with a dirty background, having like a tarp up. My house is a wreck right now with all the boxes. If I showed you my house right now, it's a good time. My house is like all the stuff from the conferences all over. I got to clean my house this weekend. I'm resting until I rest, but I got to clean my house this weekend. People can lie to you all you want. You don't know until you meet them. Okay? And for people in your life that are cloaking themselves, start becoming more self-aware, and they will reveal themselves too. And call people out. If they're being real agent-like and they're trying, if people are being real Swayze and real agent-like, call them out. Say, listen, I think you're doing something, and see how they react. But best believe if anyone's doing drugs and alcohol daily, chances are they're already infiltrated. And if you're doing drugs and alcohol every day, you should check yourself before you wreck yourself. So if you have a problem with chiefing, you need to readjust yourself. And you need to work on yourself and deal with that layer of addiction, because that addiction is what's going to hamper you. And you want to release that before the pole shift. Because that addiction, then your shadows will just pop out of the closet, and then you're going to deal with a whole bunch of other people's shadows. Because if you don't resolve your addiction to alcohol and drugs, post-pole shift, when all these other drug addicts and addictive people don't have the drugs, y'all are going to be fighting it out, and it's going to be a fight to the death. Deal with your issues now. Fleur, do you know the spiritual meaning besides a scar on your head? It depends on the scar. It depends on where it is. It could be a you know how the Indians leave marks on their dead and then they come back with a mark in the next incarnation? Could be that. Could be just, you know, something connected to certain bloodlines. You know, some bloodlines come with a mark. Something like that. Okay? So I've got 10% family. Let me go. I'm going to go and do what I do. All right? I enjoy this day. I hope I didn't go on a rant today. I just want to talk about secret agents, how to vet them out. Do you? Other than talking about other people, let me end with this. Rather than us judging others, just do you. Be good with you. Be righteous with you. Be integrity-ridden with you. So you will be able to dispel those around you who are secret or cloaked. Just raise your level of frequency. Eat well. Be balanced. Be loving to yourself. And start vetting out things for yourself. Do your own card reading. Start vetting out things to read and register your futuristic events. okay? And be more self-reliant. That's the way you are able to dispel those who are trying to secret agent you, okay? So I love you, family. Have a masterful day. I hope it wasn't too negative a rant. It's all love and good in the hood, but let's level up. And as we level up, there won't be, we're just gonna show out. All right? I love you, family. Have a great day, and peace. Peace.